my little scientist. Welcome to our online science class. I am teacher Riham, your science teacher. May Allah protect Saudi Arabia and all Islamic countries from any dangers. Let's start, honey. Okay, we know before that the all things around us are made of matter. So all things are made of matter, and we have three kinds of matter: solid, gas, and liquid. Solid, gas, and liquid. We know what about solid. Solid has fixed shape. Solid has shape of its own. But what about gas, and what about liquid? Let's bring your notebook to know what is the title of our lesson today, okay? Let's start by this letter L, I, Q, U, I, D, and S, okay? So liquids and G, A, S, S, E, S, liquids and gases. This is the title of our lesson today. It's about liquids and gases. Liquids and gases, okay? Let's learn more about liquids and the gases, okay? We know before that all things are made of matter, but matter is anything that takes up space and has mass. So I will tell you that matter is anything that takes up space and has mass. Like the water here, the water takes space in this cup, so it's a matter. This cup takes space in the table, so it's a matter. The air, if we have a balloon, the air takes space in this balloon, so it's a matter. This wood takes space in this table, so it's a matter. So anything that takes up space and has mass is called matter, okay? First, can you help this rat to eat the solid matter? What about the table? Yeah, it's a solid, amazing. What about the car? Also, it's a solid. Water. What about the water? Water has shape of its own, has fixed shape. Of course, no. So it's not solid. What about the pencil? Has fixed shape, so it's a solid. What about the juice? The juice doesn't have fixed shape or doesn't have fixed shape, so it's solid. What about the book? The book is a solid. Amazing. What about the milk? The milk also doesn't have shape, so it is not solid. Honey? So what about liquid? What about the water, the milk, the juice? They are liquids. Milk, water, juice, they are liquids. So liquid is a kind of matter. Liquid is a kind of matter. So liquid, number one, is a kind of matter. Like the solid, so solid like liquid? Of course, no, they are different. How? Liquid doesn't have its own shape. But in solid, we say that the solid has shape, has fixed shape, has shape of its own, but liquid doesn't have its own shape. Liquid doesn't have its own shape. How? Look here. Does the liquids here have the same shape? And number one, we put the liquid in a big or in a tall cup. Here in this container, here in this short one. So the liquids here not have the same shape, but in all this picture it's a water. The water is the same, but the water take the shape of the container it is in. The water take the shape of the container it is in. The water it is in. The water take the shape of this cup. The water take the shape of this container. The water take the shape of this cup. So the liquid's shape can change, and the liquids take the shape of the container it is in. Look, now the water here in this container, so it's take the shape of this container. If we put it in another one, so it also take the shape of this one. Yes, like this picture. So the liquid's shape can change. The liquids take the shape of the container it is in. The liquids take the shape of the container it is in, okay? The amount of liquids, but the amount of liquids stay the same. The amount not different. If we put the liquid here in a big container or in a small container, it's the same. It's the same. Look, there's 90 millimeter, okay? So this 90 and here it's 90, so it is the same. The amount of liquid stay the same. The amount of liquid stay the same if we put the liquid in a big container or in a small container. It is the same. If you have a cup of water and you will put this water in another cup, the amount of water stay the same. The amount of water doesn't change, but the liquid or the water take the shape of this cup. Okay, the water take the shape of this cup. Okay, some liquids can flow slowly, like this honey, like this ketchup. So some liquids can flow slowly, like this honey, or like this ketchup. Okay. So honey, some liquids can flow slowly, like this honey, or like this ketchup. Others liquids can flow. Others liquids flow quickly, like the oil, like the milk, like the water. It's a thin, okay? So some liquids flow quickly, like the oil, like the milk, and others can flow slowly, like the honey, like the ketchup, okay? So we can say that liquid is a kind of matter. Liquid is a kind of matter. Liquid doesn't have its own shape. Liquids take the shape of the container it is in. Liquids take the shape of the container it is in. Okay? Liquids don't have a shape of their own. They take the shape of whatever they are in. Liquids flow when you pour them. When you pour the liquids, like you pour this milk, so now the liquids flow, okay? So this is about the liquid. What about the gas? Also gas is a kind of matter. Gas is a kind of matter. Also gas doesn't have its own shape. Also gas doesn't have its own shape. So number one, solid. Solid has shape of its own. Solid has fixed shape, but liquid doesn't have shape of its own. Liquid take the shape of the container it is in. Gas is a kind of matter. Also gas doesn't have its own shape. Okay, honey, I will tell you more about the gas tomorrow. First, can I ask you, true or false? Gases have their own shape? True, it's true or false? Of course, false. Gases doesn't have their own shape. Gases have mass? Of course, yeah. All kind of matter have mass, okay? So all matter have mass, of course, yeah. All matter have mass. Gases have mass, but gases have their own shape, of course, no. Gases doesn't have their own shape. Liquids doesn't have their own shape, but only solid has their own shape. Thanks for today. Have a nice day, honey.